Are there no record labels in Ghana, or Mr. Drew is just being an ingrate? Before I even start, what is the recent craze of Ghanaian artists trying to run down Ghanaian record labels all about? Like, almost every Ghanaian artist is trying to pass a jab on our indigenous record labels, like try to look down on them and whatnot. Mr. Drew recently did same when he made certain disparaging statements about his former label, Highly Spiritual, owned by Kewa. According to Mr. Drew, there's no difference between when he was signed to Highly Spiritual and now that he's an independent artist. Thus, Highly Spiritual is useless. Like, it more or less means that Highly Spiritual was useless to his career.
So in effect, so that they see the difference like that?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Oh, really?
Not at all. I mean, people can testify. I've been off a label for like 2 years.
And you're still banging, man.
The boys still, they do well.
Prior to this, Kwabena had made a similar statement when he said there was no record label in Ghana.
Is there a record label in Ghana?
We don't have... Trick, I'll be coming to you. We don't have a record label in Ghana now. Don't we have them? Don't you have the Links Entertainments and the Highly Spiritual
Independent artists?
Very good. Like record label in Ghana.
Like the Highly Spirituals, like the Rough Town Records.
No.
Are they not record labels?
I'm sorry, there's no record label.
The last time we talked about...
We will cut Kwabena some slack since he's been in the industry for almost 2 decades or over, and probably he's signed better deals or seen better deals than what is being offered by the indigenous labels. The case of Mr. Drew saying being on the Highly Spiritual and being off it is the same seems quite disrespectful to Kewa and his record label Highly Spiritual. He noted that even though he was on Kewa's Highly Spiritual, he had to fund some of the projects, even though that wasn't part of the initial agreement he signed with Kewa.
I did fund some of the stuff whilst I was on the label. I did.
Okay, was that the initial agreement?
No.
Which could have been the reason why he's saying there's no difference between he being on the record label and being off it. However, looking at where Kewa picked Mr. Drew from, like when Mr. Drew finished the reality show Hitmaker, Kewa literally picked Mr. Drew up from nowhere and built him up to where he is right now. Like from having one of the first hits of his, Je with Sarkodie and Creamy. Creamy was also a signee, by the way, but upcoming artists having Sarkodie on their first major hit single, that's a big thing that could have only been pulled off by the record label. We know Highly Spiritual's playbook is using big acts to push up their signees. Kewa did see him with Kelsongs when he featured Sarkodie on Kelsongs' Jennifer Lomote, and also featured Sarkodie again on Kelsongs' Crystal, which blew Kelsongs up to the height that he got to before he left the label, which means that at least Kewa and his Highly Spiritual has been doing a lot for these signees of his record label. But for one of them to sit on radio and make statements like it makes no difference when he was on the label and now that he's off the label, I think that's a bit over the bar, and Mr. Drew should bow his head down in shame for not being grateful to Kewa and his Highly Spiritual for putting him on.